Newcastle, 7 defeats. 7 defeats in 8 games. Is it time to sack your manager?
The team died on Tuesday versus Forest. Today was the funeral. The burial is coming on Saturday. That's all I really have to say.
What more can Newcastle do, though? Like, seriously, because the amount of injuries they've got, what more can they actually do, though?
Bro,
like,
everyone is.
Am I not seeing their 20 list of injuries or something like that?
Yes, that's a factor. But are we just going to use this until the end of time?
Well, no,
at some point, it has to just be like, let's look at what we're looking on at the screen or at the game. Let's look at what we're seeing. Our defense is completely, it's dead. Mo Salah, all he had to do tonight, and he's brilliant at it, so it makes it even worse, hence the scoreline. And outside of Dubravka, it should have been about, I don't know, 10, 12. You pick a number, a big number. Outside of that, you go to the right and you square it to the middle, you'll probably score, or you have to force a wonder save out of Dubravka that he usually doesn't make. So that's a big problem. And that's not the first time I've seen that this season, away from home in particular. Before the injury crisis, for example, Brighton away, where they destroyed us 3-1. Where did both the goals come from in the reverse fixture? Right-hand side, Nunez brace. Bam, bam. Done. We can't hold the lead. We can't hold the result.
You have to look at your manager. A crazy stat. In the last 25 days, Newcastle have lost more games than they did in the entirety of last season.
There you go.
I know you've got injuries. I understand that. But with the club that's got the ambitions to get to the very top, do you at this point have to look at sacking this manager, or is this the time to persevere, in your opinion?
No, I think a parting of the ways is inevitable, to be honest. Look, it is what, bro, I'm going to say it again. On Tuesday, I saw the death of the team. Today was the funeral, and the burial is on Saturday when we inevitably lose to Sunderland. And this is the other big problem. How can I predict every single away game with such freakish accuracy and then it happens? That's not a good sign. Football's supposed to be a bit unpredictable.
It is if you're putting bets on it.
Well, I don't. So I'm
send me your predictions before I'm gonna make some money off you, bruv. Like Mystic Meg.
Put a bet on Sunderland to win. Put on a bet for Villa to win. Put on a bet for Forest to win. We aren't winning an away game possibly until March.
Steve, can I ask you a question?
I was
going to ask. Do you think Eddie Howe's one-dimensional?
Yeah.
Because what I realized in the beginning of the season, especially when we played you in a reverse fixture, you guys really should have won that game.
Oh, yeah.
But like your game management and the way you play, I don't think you have like Eddie Howe has like a plan A, or no, it's not plan A, a plan B or plan C that he can change to, because there was two games. Was it back to back when you played Man City and then you played Liverpool, where Man City outpassed you, and then they just scored, and then with us because we had to, because of 10 men, we had to sit back and then just counter attack you. And I've seen, especially Nottingham Forest, the way they outplayed you with Chris Wood, giving you something to think about.
Hey, the Milan game. 1-0 lead first half. We're in second place going into halftime because Dortmund are drawing with Paris Saint-Germain. What more can we ask for? What more? Like my biggest problem with Eddie Howe right now and the team, I'm not going to absolve them of criticism because they only seem like they want to turn up at St. James's Park. And now that's out the bin because they're losing to Forest. So who the hell should I have any confidence going up against it at St. James's Park?
I think it's difficult. It's so difficult because this Newcastle team. I think we can agree. I want to think certain people would agree that you guys overachieved to an extent with what you did with last season. No one thought you were going to get Champions League football, and then you went out. Obviously, the Tonali signing. Obviously, you can't use them anymore because of what's happened and the injuries that you've got. It's such a difficult position Eddie Howe's in. Like and also the fact that you were knocked out of the Champions League the way you were, not even getting into Europe. You're knocked out of Europe entirely, and you put so much emphasis because you were at the start of the group. You beat PSG and everything like that. It's a lot. It's so difficult for you guys just to expect results on the first, like every now and again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but here's the thing, dude. We're putting ourselves in winning positions and dropping points over and over.
There is a downers element here. Sorry, go on, Rom.
I've got a quick question for you, Steve. Don't you think potentially Howe could get some of the fans that want him out on board on Saturday? Because the magnitude of that game, the atmosphere, it's going to be crazy. What's the first derby in 3-4 years? You know better than me. I know it's been
seven.
Exactly. I thought it was around 3 or 4. But the game, the magnitude of that game, and how much it's going to mean. Do you reckon if he gets a win? Because I know it's at the Stadium of Light, isn't it? You're away from home, and I think your record's not even the greatest. I saw something today, but if he gets a win. And not just the win, a convincing. I think just the win will be enough for your fans. Obviously, bragging rights, etc. But if he gets a convincing win, could that maybe sway you, or maybe it could be a catalyst in better results or a turning point in your season?
Yeah, it's life or death at this point. It is life or death.
Yeah, if he loses, he's got to win big, and he's gonna have to win big as well. He can't just scrape one win.
Yeah. No. I'm not even asking for a big win. Just win the damn game away from in James's Park. I'm serious, and that's the thing. I don't have crazy expectations for Newcastle. I just want us to be better than the 19th best team away from home.
Yeah,
out of a possible 33 points. This season in the Premier League, we've picked up 5.
Yeah, that's nowhere near the level. I agree. There's a super chat here. Yeah. Sorry, mate. This here from D-Town. Thank you, bro. Amazing donation. Thank you. He says, everyone has injuries, but Newcastle's are by far the worst with the amount of important first-team players that are out. It reminds me of Liverpool when we played with the kids at centre-back and relied on Alisson to score to get us into the top 4. Listen, I think it's a fact. I think it's a factor. There's no doubt. But it's more to it than just that. And I think Steve's right to call that out as well. Liverpool fan here says greatness is legacy. In 50 years, when fans talk Liverpool from 93 to 2004, the first thing that we've spoken about will be Gerrard and Istanbul. Salah can get there. Disagree. And I'll tell you why. Gerrard will always be remembered at Liverpool. What Gerrard did, his best moments at Liverpool were nearly all 20 years plus ago. In 50 years' time, who the hell's going to be alive that even remembers that? It'll get discussed. even that's not even a dig. Like in 50 years' time,
it's true. How many young
fans talk about 50 years? I'm probably going to be dead as well. Do you know what I'm saying? But
even this generation, the generation of Liverpool fans don't talk about Gerrard.
No, but how many young Liverpool fans nowadays talk about Roger Hunt? It's probably an unfair point.
Exactly, yeah. And that's not a dig. Gerrard will always be remembered, but you'll be surprised how much it'll change in 50, 60 years. It'll always be remembered, though, Gerrard. Of course he will. Look, boys, I want to thank you all for coming on. I know it's New Year's Day and everybody's sweating out the alcohol and food from yesterday, getting ready for their detox from tomorrow. Some people are doing it, some people are not. Congratulations to Liverpool on, someone here said who.